Rings of Power. Season 2 trailer just dropped. This will be my minimalistic breakdown. I got work in like 10 minutes. Still wanted to make sure I got great content out for you, the Geek variant community. That being said, this trailer feels like a giant middle finger to the elves. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, Brent here back for Geek Variants. We cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, Rings of Power Season 2 trailer, and I gotta say, this feels like a giant middle finger to the elves, and the fact that we still have our same exact character from last season, who's, not on this picture, of course, literally put on a wig and grew out his ears, and somehow, some way, the elves, well, on high alert, got infiltrated by Sauron in his fair form once more. So you got to give a shout out to them for being the greatest race in Middle Earth to continue to get deceived by vanity and because of the fact that, hey, you got pointy ears, you're one of us, part of the ship, part of the crew, so to speak. But I will say, the armor looks nicer thus far from what we've seen. The makeup looks better. The costumes look nicer. They did a far better job, I feel, this season than what they did with season 1. That was one of everyone's biggest complaints. The CGI was great. The music was great. The storytelling, well, look, let's just look at it this way. It is non-canon fanfic. So let's not hold it directly against Tolkien. Let's not, try and compare directly to what we have page for page. This is just a nice endeavor for those of us who enjoy Middle Earth and want to get more into it. Now let's talk about the trailer, which I will link below. I'll have a full deep dive within the next day or so. So hit the subscribe button or the notification bell if you want to be notified when that does drop. This trailer, there were so many interesting creatures / monsters. I was kind of shocked. We had the black sludge sliding up the mountain to open. No idea what that is. Couldn't even begin to speculate. I'm still learning more and more about Tolkien by the day. Don't have a general ballpark of what that could be. Then we follow that up a couple shots later. We have that monster that looks like it could have been the Watcher in the lake that you saw from the Lord of the Rings, but the looks are obviously different, so it could just be a regular monster of the deep. So seeing what that monster / creation is will be super interesting to see where we're going to use that and use it effectively. Could it be one of the dark, heinous monsters that was sacrificed when Numenor started turning towards more Sauron than anything due to Al-Pharazon's evil mindset and grasp for power? But speaking of Al-Pharazon, it looks like he got his ride upgraded just a bit. He appears on the back of an eagle, which, truth be told, I thought the eagle was more of a exclusive Uber system around Middle Earth, and that they only chose the best of the best. So Al-Pharazon really seems to be a step in an interesting direction there for all things Eagle Uber. So we'll have to have that covered at least at some point in time. We have what appears to be significant damage coming to the Dwarven cities. It looks like Sauron's trying to take some of the early fight to them, or at least some of their Dwarven deep diving that they've been doing to get this rare material has backfired, and sort of part of their lands are starting to fall apart just due to the general greed and lust for more and more wealth. But, dwarves be dwarven. It looks like they were holding a dwarven ring near the end there, so that's definitely interesting. And then we have the 3 elves, the 3 rings, all fair and powerful and glorious. But we still have to think, hey, Gil-Galad is going to be in a battle in this season, which is going to be super interesting to see. We have Elrond popping up in a battle. We have Celebrimbor once again continually being seduced, just like he was in Shadow of Mordor, which, great game, by the way. Definitely not canon, but a great game. It was good introspection to see what Celebrimbor really was like for the most part, except for, obviously some of the changes they made in the second game, but that's neither here nor there. The one thing I really think needs to be very much addressed is the minimal showing of the wizard. If you notice, throughout the trailer, we had one shot of him, and he was doing a great amount of magic, and he was holding a staff that looks fairly similar to some of the wizarding staffs we've seen from our boy Gandalf time and time again. And the fan speculation has been running wild about him being Gandalf for a long time, just because the way he talks, the way he acts, the dialogue that he drops, and his love for the little folk, which I know these are Harfoot, but Harfoot, hobbits, pretty dang close in all things Middle Earth as far as we are concerned as the viewer. This season is dropping also at the perfect time, so I got to give Amazon huge props. August 29th, The Boys season 4 will be done. Star Wars The Acolyte will be done. On top of that, House of the Dragon season 2 will be done. The only show that will be on television or streaming services that's going to be popular, and regardless of how we feel about this, the show is going to continue to be popular. August 29th, Rings of Power. Let me know in the comments section if you want a watch party for that when that drops. I am absolutely game for it. That being said, I'll have a more detailed breakdown in the next coming days, just due to the fact of time constraints right now, but I wanted to make sure everyone was aware. I did see the trailer. I'm actually excited for season 2. Hopefully the writing has picked up a bit of its quality since, but at the same time, I enjoyed it while I was out there. We have all of season 1 broken down. Just be sure not to check out the video where it's like the sword is this and the audio and video was just straight garbage. Early editing mistake. It won't be happening again. Be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button if you want all things geek covered in one lovely place. We have shorts for you each and every day. Tonight, X-Men 97, the finale, watch party. Be there.